AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, MD, Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, MD.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AM Impact on Your Health is heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course, where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today, well, we're in the month of February, special month that it is, and it's near that Valentine's Day of the year, and issues of romance sort of permeate the air, certainly permeating my television set. I now see the jammies are back, pink ones and little zippered shoes, and I see teddy bears are back, and the discussion of love and romance is now permeating all around us. And today we're going to spend some time with someone who I actually think ought to know how to enhance one's libido, how to boost your libido naturally. Now my guest is going to be Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. She has been on our show many times. She's quite an expert on health matters in general, and I've got a feeling that she's got a special twist and a special component to boosting one's libido, and I mean to this conversation should be one in a very adult fashion. So I'm saying, hey, this is not the kiddie time to be around the radio. I've been looking at the advanced material sent to me by Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. I know she's really serious about promoting these kinds of feelings at this time of the year, as well as all times of the year. So I want you to get set to enjoy a conversation with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones today about how to do just that, boosting your libido naturally, with a very adult discussion with someone with all her advanced materials already having reached me. She seems like she ought to know. So, in our course of our discussion with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones, you want to call in to ask a question or to make a comment. That number will be 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. And I will give that number additionally throughout the hour. A little bit no issues today in the holy month of February, with Valentine's Day just around the corner. Now, calendar-wise, we'll just talk first about our guest of Monday. Of course, we had Roland Thomas back, representing the company BioAge, and a product line that really is completely focused on the use of a bioengineered form of algae. It's been a fascinating discussion these past two times I was Roland, and we were just getting to the nitty-gritty on the actual products themselves, how you take them, how you select them, and we came to the end of our show. With that in mind, and keeping in mind that we fully intend to be able to establish a relationship with Roland Thomas, in fact we already have, we want to make it a little clearer about how to use those products if you have a mind to, where to get them if you have a mind to, what the costs are, and so on and so forth. And so Roland was nice enough to consent to come back with us in a week. He'll be our featured guest next Monday, actually on Valentine's Day, Roland Thomas, for part 3 of the discussion with bioengineered algae. BAC is really the term that's being used for it, and we'll finish up our discussion with him on that day. Now, this particular week is going to week we really kick off the use of the MCG apparatus. I've been saying all along it's been our Sputnik moment here this month with a device, with an electronic device, able to do things heretofore not possible. that with respect to cardiac disease, cardiovascular disease, invasiveness to get information has really been it's been the mantra. It's been the way that this has been done since dating back to the 1980s. Really, the 1980s is when the issue of catheterizations and bypass surgeries came up. In the 90s, stents of all various kinds and shapes took hold. Each and every time, it was an invasive procedure followed by the intervention in an invasive way that led to death. Now it turns out, with electronic wizardry, that is not necessarily the case anymore. In fact, with a completely uninvasive test, lying down on a table, fully clothed, with nothing more than the ankles and the wrists exposed, in 7 minutes we can have as much information about you as one could obtain from having a full-blown cardiac cath. Now, I was interested when I first had the possibility of this test brought to my attention. Then it became a reality last week when we ran our first 13 patients through this and got the first scores back. I'll spend some time with you discussing them, but we're going to spend our first day with Jerry Singleton, representing the company that absolutely is bringing us the electronic wizardry. It's a one-of-a-kind product. There is only one product. There is only one company that makes it. There is only one code which to bill. This is a completely insurance-covered matter. This fits nice and neat into someone's budget, too. So Jerry Singleton will be our guest this coming Friday, talking about the MCG. I don't really like the name. I said you better get somebody marketing to do a little better job. This is much more important. This sounds too common, MCG, which they say stands for multifunctional cardiogram. It's multifunctional, all right. It's spectacular. And we're offering it up to you, by the way. Those of you who want to take me up on my invite to come visit me in my office, you'll be here no longer than 15 to 20 minutes. To be able to have this test done, you'll be on your way. But the results could be one that really set the pace for the rest of your life with respect to known risk without having to have such terrible invasiveness to find out what that risk may be. Then the following week, we've got, as you already know, the issue of Doug Inglesby. Yes, Doug Inglesby is going to be back with us. His family very much involved with the early days of high-potency vitamins. Going to be talking about the flavor makers. We return with Jerry Singleton. He's going 2 weeks back-to-back with his MCG discussion. So he's not only here on this Friday, he's here next Friday, all in preparation, I might add, for those of you who have an interest, to take me up on my invite to come and have a one-of-a-kind study done, first time in the area, results of which you can't get any other way without having to pay a heck of a risky price to have something like a cardiac catheterization. It doesn't need to be done anymore, first up. Then the following week we have Alan Ridgway with us talking about the diabetic shoes and other diabetic devices and implements used by the diabetic. They go through their own electronic stages of wizardry, and each and every year there are new products out, new devices, new ways of measuring the blood sugars, new ways of not being so painful in doing so. We'll have Alan Ridgway share all that with anybody who's a diabetic. Would not want to miss this show. If you know a diabetic, tap them on the shoulder and say, pay attention. On the 23rd, which is 2 days later, on Wednesday, Kurt Domkowski comes aboard with us. He's going to be talking about dressings for wounds that fits right into a discussion that you would be having with a diabetic, that would fit right into anyone's discussion. Just hearing about a terrible case on the way in today where a young boy is now on life support after getting an infection with MRSA. He's a wrestler or something, and I mean, I know these are sketchy details, but it just hit me deep in the gut. to hear their father talk about his extremely healthy, athletic son now in such dire straits. Why? Well, got cuts on the wrists during wrestling activities, and they believe that he got the MRSA infection through those cuts. Getting dressings, these RTV dressings that literally soak up the microbes, might be a very good bet to have anybody have in their medicine cabinet, let alone the diabetic who has his own set of issues when it comes to wounds. Doesn't necessarily have to be a MRSA infection for the diabetic to have tremendous involvement and very bad results, continually leading to what frequently becomes a amputation. Okay, that's how the month is shaping up. Hope you enjoy being here with us. Now look, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, this is adult time around the kitchen table. And I mean the conversation is going to swing that way. You're going to enjoy spending some time with a lovely lady who's on a mission today. How to boost your libido naturally. A very adult conversation with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. We will be right back in a moment with Susan.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you were looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Honey, just got the word. The company's new health plan has a $5,000 deductible. We have to make sure nobody gets sick this year. Remember what those doctor's visits cost for last year's colds and flu? Oh, I'm sorry. I've got to go. Love you.
We can do this. We can cut the fast food lunches, soda, that's a lot of sugar. We could all take that evening walk. And hey, I heard a program about fruit of the spirit. What did they say? 1 ounce, the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits with herbs and minerals. We could add some to our breakfast protein shake. Fruit of the Spirit is unique whole fruit puree. Fruit of the Spirit contains fresh fruits native to the Holy Land and alkalizing minerals from the Dead Sea. With no added sugars, Fruit of the Spirit's unique product from 5 years of work from science-based nutritional experts. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, convenient, affordable, and delicious. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health, heard here on KHB 620. Each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today on this Wednesday version of the show, and I must say a well-anticipated version of the show. Anytime this young lady's involved, we're always happy to spend some time with her. She's such a bright light of health and how to help you approach that healthy area of your own life. Our topic today is one, well, we're going to find out about Susan's background. It's obvious to me that she has been very well grounded in this area. We said, and we have been saying along, that this is how to boost your libido naturally. But this is no casual discussion. This is a deep-seated discussion put together by this young lady that I think is going to resonate with you all here in this month of February. In a way, a Valentine's Day gift to you from her. Of course, our guest is a healthy gal with just quite a background in anti-aging and optimal nutrition, balancing life, and joyful living. She taught students, staff, and faculty at UCLA on how to be healthy and fit for 30 years. You see a photograph of this lady, numbers start to run into your mind. I don't want to ask her age. My goodness gracious, she's gorgeous. Susan is the founder and president of Health Unlimited, a Los Angeles-based consulting firm dedicated to optimal wellness, health education, and human potential. As a renowned author and orator, by the way, 25 books the woman has written. The most recent one, and one that you want to get a hold of, called The Joy Factor. She's with us right now. Let's say good morning and welcome her. Come on back. Come on back. Susan Smith-Jones, good morning.
Good morning, and I like that word you used twice in your introduction, that this young woman, young is the operative word. You know, there's that quote, age is mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. So we're all, you know, when someone asks you your age, say ageless, because we're all ageless. There's young as so. Today's show, I want to spice up everyone's love life. Now, and even if you're not with a partner, we can spice it up because you can have love for yourself and love for family and friends. And while I think, Dennis, we all strive for loving the people this month, this year, we need to do this all year long. So whether you're with a partner or not, today will be a really great show, and you can get all of the juicy details of things that probably not discussed over the air on my website, SusanSmithJones.com, my name, Jones.com. Click on February newsletter.
Yes, because I have looked at the February newsletter. Much of what we're discussing today literally comes right out from it. And as I say, it is a very healthy and adult conversation of this pretty serious matter. It's obvious to me, Susan, first up, that this is a topic you have delved into quite a bit over a long time. This isn't throwing a show together talking about cute little things to eat or drink to increase your libido, although that is part of our show today. But you've taken a much more well-grounded approach. Speak to me maybe about your background that enables you to take such an approach with large breadth, is the best way I'd probably like to put it.
Well, thanks. Not only did I health for years, but during this time, I've also been a relationship counselor, and I've worked with couples, singles, and families on how to create healthy, happy, and thriving relationships. So, in other words, focus morning not only tips to help stay in love and to help spice up your sex life, but also to enjoy being more loving. Now, the bottom line is that we all, you know, and this is one of my 4 A's. You know, no matter if you're in a relationship or not with your significant other, we're all in relationships day in, day out. And I always say, remember the 4 A's.
Yeah, what are the 4 A's? I keep seeing that buzzword, 4 A's. What are they?
4 A's. Not 4 A's.
4 A's.
Not the foyer of your home, but it's the 4 A's.
The 4 A's.
And they are, you want to keep them prominent, and they are appreciation, affection, acknowledgement, and attention. See, we all blossom when we're appreciated and acknowledged. Our hearts open wider when someone shows us genuine affection. And when someone pays attention to us, it warms our soul and it builds a bridge to the other person. And often, Dennis, when a relationship is new, we appreciate the other person. Let them know. We show affection. We acknowledge them. Pay them attention. And then as the relationship gets older, we lose all of that. But you can keep a relation that with a significant other, your lover, you can keep it new and fresh. And you must strive to do that. If you want to keep a long-lasting, vibrant relationship, one that's filled with passion.
Well, you start out your discussion in your newsletter with what you call 8 surefire ways to expand love, romance, and intimacy. And I looked through this list of 8, and number one seems like a pretty profound look at relationships. And so I'm sure you're aware of your list of 8. Why don't you walk us through these surefire ways to expand love, romance, and intimacy, the 8 surefire ways.
All right, surefire. Surefire I will here.
All right.
First one could be the 4A. Appreciation, affection, acknowledgement, and attention. Then the next one was just simple. That's it. At least I know this from 30 years of counseling. Never miss not to say, I love you. Saying these special words to your partner, your family members, not only conveys the message, but it also creates a channel through which love will flow. And not negative, but you just never know what's going to happen in life. And my mom passed away a decade ago, a few days ago. And I know that every time we spoke on the phone, it always ended our conversation. I loved you. There was nothing left unsaid, and it was a wonderful relationship. But especially with your significant other, your lover, your partner, these are words that you say often and mean them. Mean them from your heart. Say them, show by your actions that you mean it.
Very good. Move on. Let's get to the next.
Another tip is to enhance joy in your relationship. Decide that you would rather love than right. So often you want to be right and lose happiness in a relationship. You can compromise. You can let your other. Now here's one of my great suggestions for making your wife happy. Now let her be right a lot of the time. Let her make important decisions. And when you do fight, because we all fight fairly, and then always make up. Quickly can after a fight. Just hold things in. And this segues into the next tip. Always communicate the truth. When you hold back things, keep secret, it makes it difficult for the love flowing and for the closeness deepens. So you've got to communicate truth. And if you believe that, you keep all these secrets. You can go out and go shopping and not let your husband or wife know, and you can keep what you buy in the closet until the next credit card bill comes.
Yeah.
On a subconscious level, your partner knows everything. And then walls are... You've got to keep open and always communicate.
Always communicate that complete truth. Next up, talking about if things aren't fine. This seems like a bit of reality that can occur in a relationship, and you've cited it as being so important. And that is, if things aren't fine, you should not pretend. You need to make that become a known reality in that relationship. And it's more that honesty issue that I'm sure you're trying to come across with, but you really do have to point that out all by itself, don't you?
You absolutely do. How often do you say to your partner, how are you? Fine. Oh, I'm fine. Really, you're not fine because you're not doing what we said. You're not always... It's truth. Now, there's often the right time to say this. If you're exhausted and it's midnight and you have to be up at 6 a.m., it's probably not the best time to bring up things. However, if you aren't fine, don't pretend that things... as you hold on to negative emotions, that will build up resentment towards your partner, and then you'll end up turning off your partner.
Wonderful. What about, as the list moves on, make your relationships ongoing?
So often, and I've had a private practice, and clients and patients come to me when their relationship is no longer working. So I say to these people, and I want to recommend to everyone listening, that you want to work on your relationship. You want to make it ongoing, so it's moving from a level of strength to even more strength. Don't wait until the relationship stops working forward. Sometimes it's of value to maybe get a little counseling, or make sure that you spend. I know today it's crazy how stressed out are, but you spend a good 15 to 20 minutes a day, partner, with just each other, talking, cuddling, kissing, hugging, and this needs, unless your partner's on the road traveling, just be on a daily basis. Now, this is one reason it's good also to have computers, Kenneth, and Blackberries or whatever else you have. Partners on the road traveling. Now, it's wonderful to communicate through computer because now you can see each other. But it needs to be ongoing.
Okie doke. You say, these are interesting. Fast from the because you just mentioned computer. Fast from online entertainment on Valentine's Day. These are real specific to the day itself. And evidently, being a special day, you want activities to be geared in a special direction, I'm taking it.
Yes, yeah. Well, on Valentine's Day, with your significant other, that's the day you want to honor those 4A's. You want to show them that you appreciate them, give them affection, acknowledge them, give them your attention. So next Monday is Valentine's Day, and so I recommend that people perhaps fast online entertainment on Valentine's Day. If you're spending that day with your loved one or your family or close friends, you consider taking a Texas cleanse. I call it a TC. As a holistic lifestyle and relationship counselor, 20% of the people that I help, Dennis, they need guidance about their sex addiction, which are negatively impacting their relationship. Sort of like a special detox diet that cuts out all processed foods for a short period of time with the promise of upgrading health. A sex cleanse that you unplug for a short time. Put your focus on the things that matter the most in your life, like your relationship. So you might want to take one day every 2 weeks or more if you can, and avoid everything with a screen. Mentally prepare for that day because people are very addicted to their technology. And also you want to make it a day when you don't need to be plugged in work-wise. Go long for a day, do it. But the closeness, Dennis, that you discover with family and friends and the full attention you give your loved ones will render longer-term benefits for all. And you might want to consider bedroom a media-free zone if you're in a coupleship. It's a word I coined about 30 years.
Coupleship.
30 years ago, a coupleship. Because there was a recent Italian study that showed that couples have bedrooms, have fast sex, that those don't have a bedroom. So once again, you might want to go to smithjones.com, click on February newsletter right there, the triple button on the home page, and you'll get more of the juicy, spicy details that we'll be talking about throughout. We have 5 hours, right?
Oh, wish we did. You're moving along this nicely. We are with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones, talking about relationships in a way I know we have never approached before on this show. With Valentine's Day around the corner, we're hearing from an expert on how you can begin to make that relationship of yours be a much better representative of how you feel towards another person, and maybe how it has come on the wax and wane every so often. The 8 surefire ways to expand love, romance, and intimacy is how we got this thing started. Why don't we do this, Dr. Jones? Why don't we take a short break? When we come back, the pace is going to change a little bit. We're going to be talking...
But wait, we got to get to number 8 when we get past. We still have one more tip. If anyone's taking notes.
Go ahead. I'll let you take the 8. Go ahead.
I do right now. I want you to know if you're not presently in a relationship, just like I'm not in a relationship, you can make Monday a special day, Valentine's Day. Always treat yourself with love and kindness. Make it a special day. Do something memorable and joyful. Maybe you get a spa treatment. But remember, it's always about finding, let me say that again. It's not about finding that right person. It's about you being the right person. And as my mom always said, we want to be more loving and kind to ourselves and others. My mom used to say, the more you love, the more you're loved, and the lovelier you become. So even if you're not in a partnership, significant other, you can make Monday a most special day.
Well, I'm glad we stopped and did on that 8th one because you're all alone, so am I, and it looks like we better treat ourselves pretty extra special on that day, huh?
Yep.
Well, there you have it, folks. Those are the 8 surefire ways of expanding love, romance, and intimacy. We'll take that short break. When we get back, get ready to rock and roll, folks, because we're going to be picking up the pace a little bit. We're going to be talking about orgasms, looking younger, impotency remedies, sex-lowering stress. These are issues of the day. Be back in a moment with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones.
Have you been to the doctor lately? Was fatigue top of your complaint list? Even if your doctor asks you what you eat, the recommended 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is a dream in your busy schedule. What if you learned of a product 5 years in the formulation that delivers 5 servings of fruits and minerals in just 1 ounce? That's right, it's Fruit of the Spirit. The blessings of Fruit of the Spirit are now formulated into a delicious whole fruit puree product rich in antioxidants and minerals. Your health is more than just a test result. It's a balance of physical, spiritual, and emotional factors. You work regularly to strengthen your faith. Let Fruit of the Spirit help cover your nutritional needs in a convenient and cost-effective ounce a day. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, 5 servings of fruits and minerals with no added sugars. That's 1-800-442-3793 for your good health. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Here in a Wednesday morning version of the show, very special version that it is, of course, with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones talking about how to boost your libido in natural ways. We've been talking about relationship issues. It's a different topic for me to have ever covered on the show, but I think it's certainly never been a first in this particular category for our guest, who appears to know very well how to get these relationships back on track. Dr. Susan Smith-Jones is coming to us from the West Coast, and we're saying good morning and welcome back, Dr. Jones.
Good morning, and let me say right now, my new book called Joy Factor, 10 Sacred Facts for Radiant Health, just came out. Wayne Dyer wrote the foreword. Learn about it on my website. But for today, for anybody, it's in honor of this month and Valentine's Day month. Anybody who buys a copy of it is $16.95. It's selling well, not only in this country but worldwide right now. If you call this number, beginning at 8:30, so it is 8:30 there. It's 800-523-9971. 800-523-9971. Anytime this week and this month, but especially today because you want to get it before Valentine's Day, if you purchase the Joy Factor, you can get free, just for the ask, my other new book, Nature's Medicine Chest, that has my complete personal program, all of my recommendations. You might remember, I've never taken medication in my life. I know what herbs, spices, natural remedies, and this Nature's Medicine Chest has a CD to go with it. So you can get that free just for the ask. when you purchase the Joy Factor. You'll want to get for Valentine's.
All right, very good. And they hit a number. I jotted it down. I'll pass that on frequently in the up-and-coming shows, folks. 1-800-523-9971 to get her book. And much of these issues that we're talking about today even appear in that book. So you have a well-rounded approach to health at all times, and not just in this Valentine's Day season talking about relationships. It's part and parcel to everything you do. It's your very being and your very core. If reading your book is any sort of peek behind the curtain at you. Now,
well, you know, Dennis, sex, sensual, loving, close intimacy, they're all part of health. So you can't address holistic health without also looking at sexuality.
Well, it's so apparent that with these issues of relationships and intimacy, ultimately these couples, as their intimacy grows, move towards sharing that in the lovemaking process. And you put quite a premium on how to establish and obtain orgasm. It's a big issue with you. It's one of the things that you feel that you contribute to a lot with respect to the advice you've given to previous couples. How do you advise those who are listening to us today and people who have come to you in the past with respect to orgasm and having the ability to culminate their relationship in the most intimate way possible and make it the most meaningful possible?
Well, I love that, and you just addressed that perfectly. You don't want to underestimate the power of orgasm. And in fact, if you want to look younger, you might want to have more orgasms. David Weeks, Dr. David Weeks, neuropsychologist at a hospital in Scotland, and he did a 10-year study on more than 3,500 people. And his conclusion was, quote, more orgasms may lead a greater release of hormones that bolsters your immune system and slow premature aging. So, you know, that sounds great to me. And what his studies reported, that those that looked youngest had a far more active sex life than the older looking people. Now, that doesn't mean you should quit your day job to have more sex in your life, but it means you need to move it up to the higher level of your list every day, or, you know, at least times a week, especially if you want to look younger, have more energy, healthier.
Well, in the same vein, you mentioned here, and I'm just...
In the same vein. Very good.
In the same vein...
or capillaries.
Or capillaries, or accumulation of blood vessels, the issue of erection and impotence comes up. And you mentioned there's a remedy for men's impotence. I'm interested in hearing what that might be. Plenty of men are plagued by this problem. The Viagra sales are off the charts. Cialis coming in number 2 right now. But you mentioned that there are remedies for this. And could you please elaborate on that for a moment?
Now, attention all men, sir. You want to do your favor and engage in regular aerobic activity like jogging, brisk walking, hiking, or maybe you have a treadmill in your home or at the gym. Because recent studies show that men who exercise enough burn 200 calories a day. So that's a good 30 minutes, you know, at least 30 minutes of aerobic activity significantly lowers chances of impotence. And here's why. Impotence often has the same cause as heart attack. It's got blocked arteries. That's why I said in the same vein, and you weren't even sure what I was going to talk about.
Oh, I thought I knew exactly what you were talking about. Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, so you see, your penis can be likened to a dipstick to your arteries. You want to sit up and vigorous later in life. You want to don your sneakers now. You want to work out.
And running 30 minutes a day could be at least an initial workout to get the cardiovascular system moving, get the vasculature as built up as it can be, because if you don't, those areas shut down. It's very difficult to bring a blood supply to them once again.
And if you're not into running, do some type of aerobic activity. And not only that, but if you're under lots of stress or you're depressed, you definitely want to add great healthy sex to your life with your significant other. The studies show that having sex lowers stress and tension and reduces depression. Really, who's not under stress these days? And according to studies, if you're 50 or older, you can have more stress-lowering, joy-boosting, and age-reversing benefits of sex as you keep your hormones active and balanced.
Well, I think that's great advice, and I would love to take up, and because this is normally the discussion that this is always brought to be, and it's where everybody's interested in terms of aphrodisiacs. Okay, you've got a long list of foods or fruits or other things that you associated with the power of lovemaking and enhance the power of lovemaking, evidently increasing libido. I don't know how each and any one of these would work, but for you to put them on a list, I'm interested. Go ahead. Tell me about your list.
Let me first say, again, there's great detail about all of this in my February newsletter. Click on that button at SusanJones.com. But you know what, Dennis? There's so much debate surrounding aphrodisiacs. And the fact is that some are very effective and others may work more because we think they work, like oysters, and they have the placebo effect. Sexual arousal is a very complex subject, and it's so difficult to isolate those exact conditions that bring it about. And we know that the brain is the best sex organ and responds to different stimuli. So here are some things I'm going to recommend, but let me also say that I believe that this presents correct almost any aphrodisiac. To take your favorite Dennis, revel of an aphrodisiac, all you need to do is feed it to your partner. And oftentimes your partner simply responds to your attention, like I said before, one of the A's, your attention, and the nurturing aspects of sex. So if you take your time, any treat, trip. And if let's say you're out to dinner, and any restaurant you go to, you can ask them, and you can even do this at home, but you can ask them to bring a candle to the table, and you can light the candle. At the dinner table when you're eating, this is a wonderful time to talk to your partner about what you want, fantasy, how you feel. And chances are the conversation will result in a memorable night of loving. But let's get real specific on food. Avocado. Do you like avocado?
I actually do. I'm a guacamole king.
And I'm the queen.
Oh, you are, huh?
Yeah, king and queen. Well, oftentimes you go out to a Mexican restaurant and have a Mexican meal, and you think it's margarita that gets food, but it could possibly be the avocado.
The avocado?
Yeah, and I have an avocado tree in my backyard. It's got hundreds of avocados right now. But see, the Aztecs called the avocado tree an avocado's testicle tree because these ancients thought that the fruit hanging in pairs on the tree resembled the male's testicles. But this delicious fruit, and it's a fruit, not a vegetable, has a very sensitive texture. And then it also contains B6, and that helps to increase male hormone production. And it also has potassium, and that aids in female thyroid gland health. And you need a healthy thyroid in order to have a healthy libido. So avocados are great. Now let me say that they're very high in fat, so that doesn't mean you should have one avocado every day, but and if you have weight to lose, limit it to about a quarter of an avocado a day. So avocado was one. Asparagus is another one. See, many foods are thought to be aphrodisiacs because of their phallic shape. Now, asparagus, however, has more than just the suggestive form. It's rich in vitamin E, and that's a vitamin considered to stimulate the production of our sex hormones and may be essential for a healthy sex life. So I definitely recommend that. Also, do you like hot spicy?
Well, there's that Mexican coming at me again. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Well, chili peppers or cayenne peppers. The pepper's heat comes from this heat element in it called capsaicin. That's the chemical that stimulates our nerve endings, and it raises our pulse, makes us sweat a little bit. So some researchers, and I know this is true in my life and with my clients, believe that eating hot, spicy foods triggers the release of endorphins, and these are those body chemicals that give us a natural high and are conducive to love making. So, and from Ken Herb Company. In fact, I talk about cayenne in my February newsletter. If you have any weight to lose at all, you want to take capsules of cayenne pepper every day. And I talk about that in the newsletter. If you can bear it, take one capsule, open it up, put it into a glass of water, and drink it down. But if that's not to take capsules, not only does it help your metabolic rate, but it will help get you to sleep.
All right, the list is taking shape. These, by the way, seems like the Mexicans are in a right position for this aphrodisiac kind of a thing. It's a hot.
So are people in the Mediterranean areas because of figs. Let's talk about figs.
Yeah, figs.
Yeah. See, an open fig has got to stimulate female sex organs. And traditionally, for centuries, it's been thought of as a great sexual stimulant. Figs are so delicious. Buy them fresh, get them dried, but breaking open a fig as your lover has always been considered an erotic act. So, see, probably...
I didn't know.
Will never look at
I never look at this again the same way I had in the past. But that's very good.
Now, you like garlic?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. But now, garlic is the one food that not only, it's because of the heat of garlic, it's said to stir our sexual desires, but you want to make sure that you eat garlic with your partner, not just one of you having it. Both want to have it. But for centuries, and you know about this, it's been a cure for everything, from common colds, heart ailments. But this is a good time and want moderation. You don't want to overdo garlic. It will start coming out the aroma of every pore in your body. So you can enjoy a nice pasta with a light garlic sauce, and that could lead up to some spicy red flavor.
Never thought of it that way. In fact, I thought maybe garlic would cause your partner to be repulsed by it.
No, not if you both have it.
Okay, if you both take it. Okay.
Yeah. Now listen, there's some people that just love the scent of garlic on you, even if they haven't had it. And you know what? You're in love. Love every part of them, even if they smell like garlic.
Okay. Good.
Now let's get to a fruit like raspberries, strawberries, and you can get these year-round. They're a little more expensive when they're off, but you can also get them frozen. But these are perfect for him, your lover, because both invite love, and in all the erotic literature, they're always described as fruit. Not interesting. But both feel high in vitamins, and they make a very nice but light dessert or a prelude to a night or a passion. So fresh fruit like that is great. Now vanilla. They say that the scent of vanilla is very sensual, that it can arouse your passion. So it's nice to have a vanilla candle, but also you find ways to add vanilla into your diet. So you can make healthy vanilla pudding, soy products to make pudding, or mix vanilla. And I've got so many recipes, types of recipes for healthiness. Or you can add a drop of vanilla into your tea. Or you can fill a champagne glass. And if you don't drink champagne, you can fill it with sparkling water or juice. And you can add a vanilla like that great, heady, bubbly treat. Or you can put some vanilla pudding on your sweetheart's neck or other body parts. You can slowly, enjoy the vanilla pudding that way rather than using it in a cup. There are ways to do this. So your lover when you take time and give attention and slow down. That can make any an aphrodisiac.
You can make anything an aphrodisiac, huh? Is your point?
You know,
Is your point?
Really, attitude is your mindset. It's color anything.
Do you have one final aphrodisiac tip to help increase passion or to get your lover in the mood, and that's not a food?
Oh, yes, I do. Are you familiar with obus oil?
I am very familiar with obus oil, as a matter of fact.
See, I have used a line of 8 obus products for decades. I would not be without them. Inhaler, the obus oil, the cough syrup, the lozenges, the pastilles. They're amazing. See, and the oil, though, this is what I want to talk about here. It's made from the original Swiss formula. It's been sold worldwide for 100 years, but it has 6 natural essential oils that, as you know, that deliver an invigorating and soothing sensation for the whole body, for aches, joints. It opens up your nasal and bronchial area. If you're having a hard time breathing, your nose is clogged up like this, put a little bit of the oil, a drop, on a tissue and breathe it in, and it will open up breathing passages. But when you use this for another reason, when you really use it for massage, and they don't advertise it this way, but I'm telling you, decades of experience, clients using it, it is unbelievable. It stimulates surface circulation. That makes your skin look better. It makes it glow, but it delivers comfort to tired muscles, joints, relaxes the body. And so if you use it to massage your heart, hands, or back, or other body parts, you'll find that it will invigorate faster, because it's one of the best kept secrets.
Well, it's certainly...
That my clients tell me about, and I can tell you from first-hand experience, but there's no mention in, like you go to Oldest.
It's not on their website.
No, it's not on their website.
It's not there.
But I'm telling you, and you can read about it on my website, MissJones.com. Check out New Your Life. Check out the February newsletter. But it is a very effective.
Well, that one surprised me. I'm happy to hear. It's so multifunctional. All right, we're literally coming down the home stretch, Susan, and I think that we should probably open up this last question from me to you and allow you to take us on out of here in the only way that Susan Smith-Jones can. Do you have any closing thoughts for everyone during February that relates to all kinds of relationships? I mean, we're using the word partner. It's been pretty politically correct out there who the partners may be. It could be anybody paired with anybody. It's your partner. It is your February. It is your month. But what special things do you have, messages to bring in a closing thought format to those?
Well, I want to say that throughout this month, whole year, just by the golden rule, whether it's with your significant other or your friends or your children or other family members or even your business associates, don't underestimate the power of kindness. That random act of kindness may be a slogan, but it's caught on around the country for a reason. Loving and lovely things for others for no reason at all. We have great rewards in that. And each day presents us with hundreds of opportunities to practice kindness. And Dennis, there's such power and kindness towards other people. So seize moments this month and throughout the year. Discover how wonderful it is. So find ways to practice kindness with other people. And in my new book, The Joy Factor, I have a full chapter on the power of kindness. And I give countless examples of what you can do to be kind. And so those 5 words, kind to one another, 5 simple words, are really the secret to living joyfully. By honoring these 5 succinct words this month, you'll change the quality of life on this planet. in an uncomplicated and effortless way to bring more light into the world by cultivating a garden of kindness. So choose kindness personified. And once again, all of this talked about today is on my website, SusanSmithJones.com. Click on February newsletter. Click on New Your Life. And if you call this toll-free number, and it's in Philadelphia, not too far from everyone, but it's 800-523-9971. Call today between now 8:30 and 5 p.m. And if you purchase the Joyce, you can get actually all of my books, but we have a special right now. If you purchase the Joyce Factor, 10 Sacred Factors to Radiant Health. Learn about it on my website. Wayne Dyer wrote the foreword. You get free, but you've got to ask for it. Say, just heard Susan on Dr. Dennis's show. I want to purchase the Joy Factor. I want it before Valentine's Day. But then she said we could get a free copy of Nature's Medicine Chest. I haven't had a cold or a flu in a quarter of a century. I've never taken medication. So I have my program of what I use personally and with my clients, my private practice since the early 80s. And it also has a free CD in the back of the book. So you can get that free today if you purchase the Joyce.
Wonderful offer.
59971.
There it is, folks. Dr. Susan Smith-Jones, thank you so much to cover a topic today that, well, I think you're the only person that I know that actually can cover it so well. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. This is Dr. Dennis Courtney with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones saying so long for Happy Valentine's Day. Bringing impact on your health.
AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, MD, Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002. Or Dennis J. Courtney, MD.
Hey.